It's a little bit like American comedian Dave Chappelle, because it's a touch controversial in the current climate of woke EVs. Still, it is a right old laugh. Now, this video, I'm going to talk you around the exterior, the interior. I'm going to see how practical it isn't, and of course, I'm going to take it for a drive and launch it to see how quick it is from 0 to 60 miles an hour, because I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching Car Wow. Let's start this video by talking about the design of the Mustang. This rear part here, it just harks back to the old Mustangs of yesteryear. I especially like, I don't know why I said it like that. I especially like the taillight design. Now, this is the Mach 1, so you get the Mach 1 badging there instead of a GT, and you also get this little boot lip spoiler and a rear diffuser. Plus, you get larger quad tailpipes. You get quad tailpipes as standard, but they're bigger on this Mach 1. And they're real, 100% real, which is good. Moving down the side, you have 19-inch alloy wheels as standard, but the Mach 1 gets some unique designs, and you can actually upgrade to forged alloy wheels as well if you want. Obviously, you've got this classic design of the Mustang, beautiful two-door coupe, some side skirts. Mach 1, again, adds this red stripe here, and Mach 1 there rather than 5.0 of the standard car. Big, long bonnet, familiar Mustangy nose with the Mustang horse there as well. Mach 1 adds this extra stickery bit on the bonnet here, kind of like a matte effect, and these vents, which are real. Don't know what this is all about, though. These bits here, they're just blanked out bits of plastic. Oddness. If you know what they're for, let me know in the comments below. Also, the Mach 1 has this pronounced front splitter. Now, these aero changes over the standard Mustang do apparently reduce lift at higher speeds. Now, the Mustang starts from £48,000, so you can save an average of £1,500 on one through Car Wow. If you want to do that now, click on the pop-out banner up there for the link in the description below. In fact, you can check out offers on a wide range of cars. And if you're thinking of selling your current car, you can now sell it through Car Wow as well. All you have to do is upload some photos, fill in a few details, and our dealers will bid on your car to make sure you get a price for it that makes you go, wow. Now, if you want to do that at a later date, simply Google Wow Me Car Wow, and we will definitely wow you. Here on the inside, the Ford Mustang's interior does hark back to those from the past, and this being the Mach 1, it has some unique trim here on the dash, some Mach 1 badging and Mach 1 badging again on the sills, plus it has a unique gear knob, which is very nice. The design is pretty simply laid out, easy to use. You get this infotainment screen here, which as standard doesn't come with satellite navigation. There's no hardship because you get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, and the infotainment system itself is okay to use. It's not the best though. Digital driver's display is nice and big, and depending on which mode you're in, you have a slightly different look of the dials. Like, oh, when you're going to race, I don't like the rev counter when it's in race, let's just put it back. Steering wheel feels pretty sporty, and the driving position, well, it's quite a nice driving position, and there's enough adjustment in the steering wheel. Where is the bloody, there it is. Right, so that's all fine. What I'm not so happy about though is that I just wish this seat would go lower. It could do with going a bit lower. Oh well. Interior quality, you know, it's okay. Is it as good as a BMW? No. Is it as good as a Porsche? No. But, you know, it's fine. And, of course, you've got a V8 engine. I suppose they're keeping the cost down here on the inside. What is good, though, is this. Look, we've got a manual handbrake. Perfect for handbrake turns. In terms of storage, look, storage area there. Okay, and you've got a USB and a thing, 12-volt socket. Glove box isn't particularly large, it's just okay again. But you have this extra weird storage area there, which I suppose you put your coins in for parking or whatever. Does anyone pay for parking with coins nowadays, though? Anyhow, you got another USB down there, another 12-volt socket, and pretty much that is all you need to know about the front. But of course, this is a coupe with some rear seats, so I'm just going to jump into the back. Now, I just have to pull this lever here, and then, yeah, the seat's not sliding forward. This is going to be embarrassing. Right, I'm going to move out. I'm going to move this out the way so you can see what's going on back here. Oh, annoying. I'm going to put that back. You can see that there is just about enough knee room, though my feet feel like they're in a bear trap. I can't move them. There's this here to help me get out. That's good. Headroom makes me want to get out right away. It's pretty bad that you end up putting your head on this back piece of glass. So if ever you go over a bump, you're going to smack your head off there. That's going to be awful. Now, if you need to carry a baby seat back here, there ain't much room to do it, but you might be able to if you push the passenger seat forward, and then you've got to find the ISOFIX points, which are somewhere hidden in there, quite a long way. You can fold down the rear seats for some through loading. That sounded so cheap. But it's not particularly nice back here. You could do a short distance if you had to, but yeah. It is better back here, though, than a Porsche 911. I'll give it that. That's not saying much, really. The boot capacity on this Mustang is actually pretty decent. It's 408 litres, which is more than enough room for me. The problem is the access to it. The aperture isn't particularly wide, and there's a bit of a boot lip to lift things over. So, yeah, it's not as practical as it might seem. And that brings me to 5 annoying things about this car. This car is pretty well equipped, you know. For instance, this Mach 1 version has ventilated seats as standard, which is lovely if you like a cool bottom. However, if you upgrade to the Recaro seats, then you lose that lovely ventilation function, so you might have a bit of a sweaty arse on a hot day. The normal Ford Mustang comes with adaptive cruise control as standard, which is good. However, if you pay extra for the Mach 1, then you don't get that at all. You just get a very basic cruise control system for some reason. These may look like toggle switches, but they actually only move in one direction, and that is up. Doesn't matter for these switches here, but it does for the driving mode button, because if you're flicking through when you're driving and you go past the mode that you want just by accident, then you have to cycle through them again. You can't just go back. The Ford Mustang V8 isn't exactly the lightest sports coupe on the market. It weighs in at 1,843 kilograms. This Mach 1 version, though, obviously being the more track-focused model, is clearly lighter, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. It's actually 8 kilos heavier. What? Because the door bins are quite narrow, if you want to carry a large bottle, you're going to have to use the cup holders, which aren't located in a very ideal position. Because if you want to get to the knob, you have to do a cheeky reach around. Anyway, that brings me to 5 good things about this car. One of the great things about the Mustang is that Ford lets you enjoy the full musical delights of their V8 when you're stationary, because there are no soft limiters like you get with the German V8. So go and rev it up all the way. Oh, come on! I love it. One more. One more. Oh. Great. While you can be raucous with exhaust, there is also a quiet setting, so it's less intrusive. And beyond that, you even have a quiet start mode where you can actually set the car so that it'll start quieter, and then the exhaust valves will open as you drive off, so you don't disturb your neighbours. And you can even set a quiet time so that it knows to start on quiet mode if it's early in the morning or maybe late at night, depending on how you set it. If you go for the Mach 1 version of the Mustang, you get some chassis upgrades, including stiffer front springs and anti-roll bars, recalibrated dampers. You also get a bigger brake booster and special fins underneath the car to feed cold air over the brakes to help cool them if you're doing some track work. Also, you get the rear subframes from the Shelby models, which you can't get in the UK, so it's just a bit more sporty. Because this car is a Mustang, Ford thought it'd be funny to make the sound of the indicator repeater to mimic the clippity-clop of a horse trotting, so have a listen to this. Yes, swipe up. The Ford Mustang has something called line lock, which holds the front brakes on and keeps the back brakes off, so you can do this. Stop! Stop, 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 stop! I wonder if they'll let us back at this filming location. We probably shouldn't be doing that here. Now we come to the main reason to buy a Ford Mustang, and it's this. The fact that in the UK, you can only get it with a naturally aspirated 5-litre V8. In the normal GT model, it puts out 450 horsepower, but thanks to a new air intake system and ECU remap, in this Mach 1, it has 10 ponies more, 460 horsepower. Now, the standard car is only available with a 10-speed automatic, but you can get the Mach 1 with an optional 6-speed manual if you prefer. However, if you prefer a different sports coupe, I found another one through Car, which actually has a really good offer on it. If you click on the pop-out banner up there for the link in the description, you can see what that car is, and personally, I'd rather have that car than this. Right, let's see what this Ford Mustang is like to drive. Starting off in the place where it's not really designed for. I'm going to try it in town first, because to get to a twisty road, you'll probably have to drive through a town at some point, so let's see what it's like. The first thing to note is manual gearbox. It's lovely to use, actually. It's not tiresome, and yeah, it's got a really nice, solid, sporty feel to it. Obviously, most Mustangs are automatics, but when you have them in auto mode, the gearbox can sometimes just shuffle randomly through gears, like keeps on changing up or down. It's got too many ratios, 10 ratios, so you're better off just driving it in manual mode with the paddle shifters. Not faulting this manual though, it's nice, although it will get a bit more tiring if you're in traffic, obviously, than the automatic. I tell you what's also nice, this Mach 1 has adaptive suspension, so it doesn't feel overly firm over bumps, this car, and the normal car with its standard springs is actually pretty decent around town as well, so if you hit a pothole or a speed hump, it's okay. What's not quite so good though is the visibility, so that long bonnet does make it hard to actually position the car through tiny gaps, so that is a bit of a problem. Back window is actually quite big though. Larger problem though is the turning circle, so it's 12.2 metres, so I'm going to try and go around this mini roundabout in one go. Yeah, I'm not going to do it, I don't think, without probably doing my wheel, so yeah, they're laughing at me. Yeah, she just thinks I'm an idiot. This guy's going to think I'm a pain in the arse. Sorry. Thank you very much for being patient. Yes, he's actually laughing. And rightly so. It's a long car, this, despite the fact that inside it feels quite short. Not much room, really. But you don't buy a Mustang for that. And really, for the reason you buy it, it's more than capable of just coping with town driving as well. Now, as you get out onto faster roads and on the motorway, this thing is pretty decent. So it's more comfortable than you'd imagine. That's partly due to the seats. They are really soft and squidgy, yet they do hold you well enough in place when you're going quick around corners. You do get a bit of tyre noise because you've got big tyres and some wind noise as well, but it's bearable. Less bearable is the economy. So this car is averaging 21 miles to the gallon, which is actually slightly better than I was anticipating, but still, it's pretty poor, isn't it? You're going to be filling this car up a lot, and it will cost you quite a bit to run. Now let's see what this Mustang is like on a twisty road. I'll tell you what, the throttle response is crisp. It's naturally aspirated engines for you. It feels like a big thing going down a narrow British country road, but also a fun thing. And I'm surprised at how well the suspension deals with the undulations and generally crappy surface. The steering is sort of slow, but you get some feel through the steering wheel, so you can tell how much grip you got on the front tyres. And if you push too hard, it will start to wash wide, but then you can correct it with the throttle and start to get the back end coming around a bit. It really is a sporty feeling car. I like it. Thing is though, you know, it's a bit more of a bruiser than a precision instrument, like say a Porsche Cayman. And if you want to see my full-length video review of a Porsche Cayman, click on the pop-out banner up there for a link in the description below. I do like it though, and I love the noise. I also like the fact that we've got all the safety systems just there, so that I don't crash into the car that's filming me, the one in front. I know it's their safety system, it's fine. The 0 to 60 of this manual Mach 1 Ford Mustang is supposed to be 4.8 seconds, but what will I get? Test it right, especially its timing gear. I'm not going to use launch control because I'll need some more stability control to help me out with this, but let's see what I can do just in Sports Plus mode. Yeah, it's doing what I thought it would. That was rubbish. 6.86. Even with the stability on and my rear wheels were spinning, it was trying to like rein it in a bit, but oh gosh. Cold tyres, cold day, yay. Okay, I'm going to try it again. Hold it on the handbrake. Here we go. Same thing. You really have to rev this engine to get the most out of it. That was worse. Sorry, America. Now, I know you're all commenting, Matt's a rubbish driver, he can't launch car, he needs an automatic launch control. Yeah, I know, all right. All right, then, if you insist, I'll have one last go. I'm going to do it in race mode rather than Sport Plus, if that helps. Here we go. No, just pogged. And spun into second, but I did a better time. 6.01. Okay, one, let's go. 5.91, it's getting better all the time. Probably as my rear tyres are heating up. Anyway, I need to end it there now because I don't think I'm going to get to 4.8, am I? I don't think so. So then what's my final verdict on the Ford Mustang? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, there'll be those people who want a Mustang and yeah, go right ahead and buy it if you're one of those. However, for everyone else, I think if you're looking for a sports coupe, you should consider it. I mean, it does have its flaws, but it's also quite charming. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of the Mustang in the comments below. Click on those windows there to watch some more videos. If you click on that box there, you can get a car out to sell your car. Our dealers will bid on your car to get you a price that makes you go, wow.